Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik cast channel. Alright, so we're back with Tom MacDonald, and thank you very much for your support, guys, even in the comment section while I've been I don't know, wrestling with discouraging this frustrations, technically, and so on. But I'm here today, and like I said, I'm going to try and expand to other areas, more things, even artists that I haven't been really keen on for political reasons and so on. Tell you what, I check out an Eminem reaction today. It's been, I guess, too long me just fronting. I can even though I don't agree with the dude politically, I don't want to check out some of the flow that got us all going. Like you got Tom MacDonald going, for instance. Anyway, people, let's just check out what he's got for us today. Shout out Hangover Gang, and let's check out Sheeple. Go for it.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize.
Tom MacDonald is the best artist to react to. I mean, if I started out reacting with him, I don't know. I'd have a very easy time of things. You know me, I can ramble and go on, but what makes his rap so easy to pick up is that they are just full of punchy, clear lines that get to the point. It's amazing how he does it. And he can do a song that's essentially the same thing, but it hits the same way every time. So many artists, when you start press play on their songs, they start rapping quickly, and Eminem case in point. Eminem case in point. I said that too quickly. They start rapping too quickly. You don't know what they're saying. They're speaking in some coded poetry, and it takes some streetwise reactor to be able to decode it for audiences. Hence why some reactors are quite popular, because they speak that lingo. But Tom MacDonald, man, not only does he say things that are very easy to just understand at a moment's notice, but he says things that people are afraid to say. That's what makes him so great. Sorry, people, I'm actually at a very inopportune time getting this annoying message, but I'm just going to keep talking. It's nothing like being able to say something clearly and effective and having a stronger impact than somebody who can rap super quick. Or, Tom MacDonald can rattle along quickly sometimes, but I'd rather have substance. Let me know what you think. All right, let's keep it going.
Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime to take away our
son of a gun. This has got to be the worst time for a Skype call. Sorry, people. Tell this motherfucker to just don't call me now. All right, I need to tell him that. Sorry, but I just loved his bars. Sorry, people. I feel like going back, but the controlled opposition that he was talking about. If you check out a YouTuber called Doc Rich, he's got this great video, short that he made of this comedian doing this sketch. You probably know about it. If you can check me out in the comments, we can discuss it back and forth about this white comedian who said, "Oh boy, white privilege. Boy, I miss that. I got these black people in the neighborhoods I grew up with saying that I had it made because I was white growing up, and we got all our money from just stealing stuff from his ancestors." And I was saying, boy, you think if I did all that, I just move in the neighborhood right next to you? I mean, seriously, do you think I just have all your money and just took all your money and just don't have it? Tom MacDonald said people are being screwed on the same from different ends of the system, and this is I'm gonna do a little reaction to this thing that's going viral about black people reacting to the N-word. Reacting to the N-word these days, and I'm gonna save my reaction to that until I get into that video. But it's all pointless. These are all sounds, and by reacting to the stimuli, you just keep yourself enslaved. Tom MacDonald, please speak the truth, man.
Freedom to restore order, they
You go back.
minds. Big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom to restore order, they let die. Play with people, turn men into women. Make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, the gender is a
I love those the mannequins he has there with masks covering their eyes too. I mean, that's where you'll be next if people keep don't take off the masks until this day. Good grief. Anyway, I mean, in Asia, there's been a mask culture for a while, and unfortunately my bro, who I parted ways with in a manner of speaking, I'm not insisting on this, but he unfortunately is quite lefty, and he's very much, oh, you're on the right, I can't be with you anyway. You're saying to me, gosh, do you think there've been masks been put up in Asia for all these years? Do you think that all of them have been wrong? I mean, the people in Asia have been putting up masks to block out viruses all these years have been wrong? And I was saying, well, not to scare you, but yes. And he's like, oh, well, because everybody else agrees, and you don't, you must be insane. This happens on both sides. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't, but I think it's 50 Cent. Got another guy I don't really care for, but check out one of his videos one day too. I think he's talking about his falling out with his son Marquise the other day, and he decided to step away from him. Somebody asked him why. Then he gave a quote in response from his grandfather who said, if something rattles like a snake and slithers like a snake, do you still need any more proof? Do you still need any more proof that you're dealing with a snake, or do you need to get bitten? Right, it's you can see where things are going with the stuff that's right in your face. Every time you want to call it out, people want to try and shut you down by calling you names. SJW tactics, anyway. Pure projection, trying to gaslight you. Yeah, it's all needs to be spoken up against, and this is why the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. Just exposing this stuff, especially in this information wartime right now, is a strong enough weapon to counteract it and just wake up the people. Let me know what you think.
Spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns. If gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation.
I wonder what he's trying to say with that that get up on his face.
Your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda.
Let me hear that line again. Again, what's going on there? It's been essentially like the babies in the Matrix plugged in, even fed in, but with wires. All this stuff is literally programming and feeding these people. Me too. I can't deny I've been fed quite a bit, and I bought into quite a bit, and I'm glad that I started to pull out some of the wires, realize where I'd just been following narratives off a cliff almost, and then once I got to the precipice, I realized, oh, well, hold on, even I on the right, it's been two parts in the one matter. I need to come back and just regroup. Trying to be on one extreme or the other is like trying to deny another side of a coin exists. You need to, if you don't embrace both, you can't get a hold of the coin altogether, and use your talent. But anyway, let's see what you said in this next line.
A branded corporation distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes.
I love that line. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes. This is pure CCP, the idea of excuse me, the idea of gaslighting essentially is based on this whole thing. You can say one thing one moment, when hypocrisy is called out on it, then you change the definition of what you're being called out on to say that you haven't shown hypocrisy. Oh God, sorry, this guy. Oh no, I'm gonna be trapped in a moment. Sorry, people. I just need to tell him. Okay, and that should send him about his business. Please don't bother me now. All right, there we go. Boy, nothing like a slow iPhone. Anyway, yeah. So when you're dealing with people who just have to um, excuse me, when you're dealing with people who have to always try and shout to make what they're to try and make what they're asking for be heard, to try and when they always trying to impose it on people, and or still when they join with a narrative shifting algorithmic algorithmically led, or better still, just algorithm driven by a bunch of tyrants. Yeah, you're just gonna get normally is just to wake up and become repulsed by them. This is what I think the movement behind Tom MacDonald is all about. I love it. Anyways, keep going.
Based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep.
The way he does his hooks, I don't understand why a lot of people complain. I don't have a not complain like you should change it, but don't fight with it. His hooks are based on being understood more than getting people to dance. That's the whole thing about him. He's not really, to be frank here, he's not really a very musical guy when it comes to rap or rhythmically. He's not such a rhythmical rapper. He's more of a message rapper, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Being real here, he can flow a little, but to be honest, his thing is the message. I put it in the comments for you to say whether you agree or disagree. You can give me a recommendation of a song where he flows, and I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't hear that one, so I can put that feather in his cap. But at the same time, his message is what it's all about, man. And the fact that it's called rap, it's almost not rap. It's almost spoken word, you know. It almost should be a different genre, but if you create another genre, it'll have copycats, and no one will measure up to standard. He's in his own lane. That's all it is. Let's check out the rest of the hook.
What do y'all believe? Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout, and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum.
You gotta love this guy. I think this is the best get your message out there rapper out there right now. Who can top it? I mean, I know you guys love Chris Webby, but Chris Webby, I gotta say, he flows more than Tom. But Tom's messages, even the way he looks, is just iconic. Minorities in movies for clout.
Rolling your mouth, you say lit, fleet, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout, and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke, you.
I think that's a good thing. I mean, at the same time, I'm all for red pilling, but at the same, all right, here's what I can say. You remember my take on, some of you guys out there, you remember my take on David Icke and so on. As of late, I love David Icke, and the truth he's put out there. When he's right, he's right. But I just didn't as of late, I started to fall out of favor. No. I started to not appreciate so much how his message has been so much based on ideals and hypotheses, and if we do this, then we can make it. But in the meantime, don't back Trump. It's I don't think. I mean, and better still, people who feel like David Icke and what Tom MacDonald is suggesting right here, people who feel that ditching a red pill is necessarily the way forward is a bit like, is the way forward in the name of not belonging to a particular camp, especially when they appear to just be controlled opposition. So they're making a fair point, but you don't have to, treat somebody on the right or the left as your savior to benefit from their policies. Sometimes, I believe it's a good idea to choose a side and navigate with it. If there's something you can do with it, if the side is completely unusable, of course, then do nothing with it. But I personally don't think it's a wise thing to ditch the red pill concept, because or the red pill, if you will, because excuse me, the blue pills are so prolific. Well, it's not so much so prolific. They're so obnoxious. They're so all over the place that when you try to just live your life as a normie, white pill, if you will, just right in the middle, then you find yourself being pulled into the right so much. Whereas people on the red pill side, they're very much about stand by your principles. If you agree with them, if you agree with what we agree with, that's fine. But live your life, and that's that. So, I wouldn't recommend getting rid of the red pill. But sorry, people, for going on that long spiel. I can yammer a lot. Let's let Tom MacDonald finish his points.
Used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree it's free speech, disagree it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. Ooh. We can't be.
Damn. I just deliberately didn't pause it so much because I realized I've been just talking too much, but I could have paused it for every bloody line. Every single bar is packed with one of those things that people would say facts to. I tend not to say that, but damn. Who's got it like Tom? Nobody. Yes, it's me. Nobody's got it like Tom. Nobody calls me chicken needles. Nobody. Sorry. That's a Back to the Future 2 reference. Good grief. And the iron forest in the sky. Bloody hell, Big Brother's watching. Damn. This is peel the onion. It's just, what can I say? Damn, dog. Whew. Damn. What do you say, people? Just come on. What's your favorite? This song is full of so many hot lines. What line did it for you the most? I'm not even at verse 3, which is probably just going to be a bridge. Let's hear it. Sorry, where am I?
Free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Dope line. What do you believe? That's what it seems. And I love his line, the opening line. We're not free until we're on the same team. That is so true. So yes, for those on the right like me, welcome Tulsi Gabbard. Anyway, no, fine. I probably rubbed it up the wrong way, some of you in the comments, but seriously, like Harry Lake said, if somebody wants... Now listen, that's the thing, unfortunately. While we're... hey, listen, Tom MacDonald said himself. Some famous Republican presidents have proven to be very moral, if you will, to all those morality fetishist left-wingers out there. Right. But AOC, for instance, but actually amoral. I must say, people, it's the teams aren't the issue. Having one, particularly when you just got the red or blue, it seems to just be the only ones you can choose to, in the name of getting things done. But it's the overall banner of being. I'm a British person here, but in the name of the red and blue fight in America, I'd say just the fact that you're American. When you go to another country, I think as Doc Rich mentioned in one of his videos, when Americans go to other countries, we tend not to see it necessarily black Americans, white Americans, as much as just Americans. If you're free, you're free. If you're fighting against the freedoms of some people, now, if you're fighting against the freedoms of some people, the land of the free, then you're not free. At the same time, look, what I was saying with that point there was the whole issue with having different teams is that parties have seem to have laid claim to freedoms that belong to everybody, and said that only our side seems to represent this particular freedom. The other side doesn't represent them. As long as what you're doing enables you, promotes your freedom without, and objectively doesn't impede on the freedom of another, not just impede, but try to go against the freedom of another, then you're fine. One person could say, well, why can't I have freedom to change your child's gender, for instance. As Tom MacDonald was referred to in a song. Well, because the child doesn't have a say in it. And then the person can rebut, well, I've spoken to a child for months, as a teacher, and they've said to me they want to transition. And the parent may say, you know what, I'm not even going to get into what the hell you may have said to my child in the first place to even start making these requests. But how about this? How about you wait till the child is 18 and then they can transition? I mean, they're not a child anymore, right? Then it's their choice. And the other person says, you're stopping them from expressing their rights. You're impeding on their freedom. Yeah. And then, of course, you can go back and forward with, come on, what are you talking about? Yeah, if you, what's free? Freedom is something that you can undo. If you take that step, then you're not free anymore to, do what you could have done prior to that operation. And this whole paradigm plays out with masks, so-called mandates, with all these things that one scared set of people are saying, if you don't do it, everyone's going to die. Do what I like because I'm scared. I'm going to throw a tantrum. That giving into that tyranny is not freedom. If that tantrum thrower would like to do it to themselves, then they're determined to, of course, they're going to do it. But a lot of people paint themselves. The reason I said this whole thing is to say a lot of people paint themselves into boxes or into positions where they can't join with another person because of beliefs that they feel, or identities that they'd like to assume, or things that they'd like to do, I should say, that would define their unique identity. And ultimately, you shoot yourself in the foot, which is why I've decided to come out of my echo chamber, if you will, and actually start listening to some people on the left a lot more on this channel. Even though I have my view on certain things, there's no health in just being locked into one side only. Even though when I started to do this red pill stuff, when I started to relate to people the process of my being red pilled and so on, I would do it because I was trying to find neutrality again. The left had pushed again. Normally it had been pulled to the left because all the mainstream media was left stuff, hate Trump. I started to say to myself, I'm being pushed too far. Pushed too far to one side. You need to get back to the middle. You have to reach to the far right when the left is becoming the far left, just to kind of get balance in the middle again. And thus we're in a position right now where just for trying to vie to be in the middle rather than on the far left, you're seen as being against the left altogether. So I'm sure people on the left feel the same way about people on the right. And when that starts happening, you start to realize this whole thing is silly. I'm not about to paint myself into a echo chamber corner right here just because I have views that I'm firm on. They're just my views, and that's that. So people, let me know what you think about what he's saying so far. Let's just let the song finish with the bridge. This was enough for me. These two verses. I was about to conclude the video right here, but I just realized we got one more verse. Sorry.
They can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you. They don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team.
Sorry, people, goosebumps. Can you see them? Yeah, ever so slightly. Don't worry, I kind of just went up and down. But this dude's nasty, man. Calling stuff out, line after line. It's very tough, people. To I mean, sorry. Every time I take a break from reacting, I come to doing a video, I just talk forever. But the way he is just breaking things down is absurd. This whole thing about classified versus unclassified, like Hillary Clinton's siphoning off classified government documents, which she had no right to, by the way, because she was not a bloody president, onto secret servers, pointing out when people are looking at poking holes into the Mar-a-Lago raid at Trump's place over classified documents declassified documents that he had. Pointing it out is somehow called whataboutism. They call it, no, you have to, as H.A. Goodman would say, call out left-wingers by using whataboutism. You have to call out their hypocrisy. The thought police, these fact-checkers, all these people are trying to silence you from just pointing out the obvious. That what they're so afraid of is that people just realize it, and then what the hell they're saying doesn't make sense. The thing is, even if you try and muzzle people all the way to their faces, like in this video, we're still, and try and roboticize them, lies are still lies. Like I said in my rap, taken off YouTube, which I'll try and get up there again if people want it. Freeing myself. No lives matter is the basic conclusion. All lives matter is the race of all humans. I didn't phrase it that way. Just it flowed better when I said it. But ultimately, lies can never become truth. I mean, they can be believed in mass, but they're still not true. You can try and silence the truth all you want, just to give yourself the illusion that you are speaking the truth because everybody says so. But when you're talking about things that actually are making claims about what is actually real, eventually what you're banking on is this gonna expose itself, even if nobody exposes it, even if nobody takes the mask off and wants to just talk about it, like those brave people in the AOC. Well, brave people, those bold people in the AOC conference recently, in that gymnasium wherever she was speaking, or auditorium. Okay. Even if people don't pick themselves up and start talking out on the matter, lies are going to be made evident because you deal with facts here. After a while, you can't keep lying. Anyway, I better stop going on and on about it, or the song will never end. Let's let it finish, people.
Y'all are sheep. Lucas screams just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
You gotta love this video, and excuse me, Hangover Gang. I'm Tom MacDonald. What's the guy's name? Dude, what's his name? Bloody hell. Salty Cracker. Even when he was saying things like Tom MacDonald, his artistic expression with the tattoos was very intense. A lot of people, particularly him. He's a great enigma in that he's got the look of somebody who the left can resonate with, because they typically tattoo heavy, marked up people. But he's speaking stuff that the right can resonate with, and by being, it's funny. His speech is so outrageous to the left, and his image is so outrageous to the right. But while he's got everybody's attention on both ends of the extreme, he's bringing something that is quite unifying and right in the middle. People, let me know what you think. Catch you next time. Hashtag Hangover Gang, where we go one, we go all. Peace, people.